Charles.
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. To throw on second down is Newton. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And time to take a look at the Jaguar defense.
Jonathan Cyprien didn't have a big name coming into the league, but people know who he is now. A very fast center fielder of a safety.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Single. You're set. 180. 51 to Mike, boy. 51.
From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. Fozzie Whitaker was the intended target, and that brings up 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. They are going to go for it. It's Newton. And it is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Chris Ivory taking it in from 24 yards out. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. On first down, Newton. His throw incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there, and that'll bring up second down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Second down now after the incompletion.
4 down. 20.
Second and 10. Newton again. And caught left side. Olsen. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Well, they get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on third down. They come out here in the eye. On third and short, Tolbert. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
3rd and 1, who you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They stay on the ground. This time it's Stewart. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Newton. And Dixon over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Out of the gun, Newton. Flushed out right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They'll come out in the pistol.
Right here, guys. Mike 51.
They will go for it. Now Newton. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. It's a gain of 9 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Now Stewart on 1st down, and he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
2nd down and 4.
Hey, got tight left, tight left. Hey, 4 down. That's it. On the ball. Hey,
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Come on now. No. Off.
Stewart is the lone setback.
51 to Mike.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Caught on the left side by Ginn. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I got him.
So the offense needing 4 yards. It's 3rd down.
Come on now. Switch.
Newton. And incomplete here on 3rd down. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess, and that'll bring up a 4th down. It's a 47-yard field goal try from here, but instead they're going to opt to go for it on 4th down.
On the ball, 20.
Here we go on 4th. Newton. And Gibbs got it. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. And this seemingly endless drive continues. Again, we'll see the pistol here. From the red zone now, Newton. Flush to his right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Here's Newton. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Now Graham Gano to try the Panther field goal. From the left hash, this from 37. And I think Gano missed it. He did. He missed it off to the right. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hole.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Star Latulele in on the tackle. Here we go with 2nd and 7.
Though they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Cuts it out here. Left side. Touchdown, Jaguars. Chris Ivory with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out? Well, that pass was inaccurate, so that leads me to bring up our Super Bowl predictions and find out just how accurate they were.
Yours were okay.
Well, it was pretty easy for me. I went out there with some established teams. I went with Green Bay and New England, so I'm still alive in the playoffs. You had Carolina and Pittsburgh?
I did. Now, Pittsburgh obviously has a chance. Carolina does not have a chance.
Well, listen, you're my partner. Let's just be honest about the whole thing. Did anyone see Carolina having this type of a season?
No, I thought you were going to say you're my partner, and that's why you do play-by-play and not the analysis. I was going to say you're exactly right.
No, we split this bad boy 50-50, my man. No, Carolina, that was really a surprise to have the season that they did.
Newton now to throw. And he gets it to Funchess complete. He got 29 yards that time. And now a first down following that long gain. And we've arrived at the 2-minute warning here in half number 1.
Wake up! Back! Say it!
On first and 10, Newton. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. And now they're in the hurry-up.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
15 yards there on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Malik Jackson never giving up. He's able to keep working and get him for a loss of 12. Here's Newton now on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. Third and long, it's Newton. He's good. Looking for Ginn, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Cyprien. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. The Jaguars getting set to go. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And this one complete to Julius Thomas. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. A gain of 39 that time.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time, and it's 3rd and short.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie? A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trey Boston. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he's got some space here. Evades the tackler, and now some space. Chris Ivory off to the races. Touchdown, Jaguars. Chris Ivory, 79 yards. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
The play clock's running down. The extra point. And now the play clock in issues, so Gus Bradley's going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now Myers for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. A great read, and it's picked off. And this one will be brought back to the 22. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
On second down, here's Bortles. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Throwing his Bortles on third down. And that is incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And Myers winds up yanking it. This is no good. Wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
They go back to the air here after the INT. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, I just want to sneak in here as we look at the playoff picture that I have to say the Giants and Packers game, or the 4 wildcard games, is the one I'm looking forward to the most. How about you?
I'm looking forward to it as well, and I think on the surface, Green Bay has just about every advantage in this one. They're at home. No one hotter than Aaron Rodgers right now. Green Bay, you know, they were 4-6 at one point, finished 10-6 and won the division. They're super hot. But New York knows how to go into Green Bay and beat them. You know, traditionally, the last 2 times they've gone in, they've beaten Green Bay, and in fact, been favored both times. But Eli Manning and Odell Beckham Jr., they'll have to be lightning hot in that game.
And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun on third down, Newton. They've got his man complete. That goes as a gain of 37 on third down. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On first down, it's Newton. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. 3 yards to go on second down. To throw on second down is Newton. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Now they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. Newton on third down. And this is going to be incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it's fourth down.
Really good, smart play by the defense, understanding third and short, guarding the first down sticks, and being able to make a play on the football and bat it down.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. Here we go on fourth. Newton. And this is incomplete. All right, let's go tangential for a second. Give the viewers a behind-the-scenes look at our pregame meal with our production crew. 2 of our cameramen, Jared and Goose, one a Dolphins fan, one a Steelers fan. They're going head-to-head because those 2 teams will meet in the playoffs. It was interesting to hear them debate, wasn't it?
It certainly was. I was a little worried about Goose because normally he flies with Maverick, and you know how that turned out. But anyway, the way they were discussing it, think about how these 2 teams met in the regular season. Miami, 1-4 at the time, they beat Pittsburgh in a big-time upset. That kick-started their season. Miami won 9 of their next 10 games. In Pittsburgh, they lost their next 4, counting that game. So they went to a tailspin before finishing it strong with 7 straight wins. I think Big Ben, back in the lineup, Pittsburgh at home. I like the Steelers in this matchup.
And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get him into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
Denard Robinson, the intended receiver, and it brings up fourth down. Here's Brad Nordman now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Here's Ginn. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And they're just a couple of yards shy of a first down here on third down. 3rd and 2, Newton. A dump off here to Stewart. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And quickly, they get to the line. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. Well, throughout the year, I've occasionally asked you for your MVP pick. Now that we've seen the entire regular season, who's in the mix?
Well, Brandon, I think Zeke Elliott and Dak Prescott will go in as a duo, and that'll probably knock each other out of the race. Tom Brady will be heavily discussed, but there's never been an MVP that's missed 4 games, so I don't think that he's going to get it as well. Matt Ryan is probably going to end up being the MVP, but I would posit that Aaron Rodgers would be the guy. 4-6 at one point. His lead running back is a converted wide receiver. And who has he been throwing out to wide? Jordy Nelson coming off of a knee injury. You look back at Matt Ryan, he's had the two-headed monster in the backfield. He's had Julio Jones. I think that Aaron Rodgers should be the MVP.
Over the middle here to Brown. A gain of 6 there on first. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
And he will find his man on the outside. And we're back now in Charlotte. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Come on now. Whip. Watch the whip.
On first down, Newton. Caught on the left side by Ginn. A good pickup there at 22.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
From the red zone now, Newton. And Dixon over the middle. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now it's Newton being chased out left toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn, and that'll bring up second down. Ooh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. To the air again, Newton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it, or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. Now Newton on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Greg Olsen from 4 yards out. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Here we go now. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Chris Ivory loses the football, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Another pistol look here. On second down, here's Newton. That's complete right around the 8. It's a nice pickup at 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Quick pass play there on the slant, Charles. Works out well for the offense.
The offense loves it. The defender hates it. Hard to get through the body of the receiver to get to the football trying to cover a slant.
A shotgun snap for Newton. This will be caught at about the 5. That throw good for 4. It's second down. To throw on second down is Newton. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Trying to punch it in, Stewart. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
They come out here in the aisle. On 4th down, here's Tolbert. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here, back to the 2. They tried to let the fullback pound it in between the tackles, but he stopped up short. And the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand. And tough starting field position here. In his own end zone, it's Bortles. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. A gain of 6 there on 1st. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up to the 12. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Throwing on 1st down is Bortles. And he slings one that's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this.
And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
5 defensive backs. Bortles going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he finds Julius Thomas. It's a gain of 3, and it gets him the first.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. 2nd down following the run.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often
now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it up to Ivory. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
This is Ivory. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
But it was stopped on that play. He's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
4 down, 4 down. Ready, blue 45, blue 45. Watch the pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8 and it moves the chains.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Charlotte.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Jaguars going up against the Cowboys. With that, let's go out to AT&T Stadium in Dallas. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Dallas Cowboys. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. They start on the ground with Ivory. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On first down, Bortles. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. Now look at the starting unit, and here's to you, Mr. Robinson.
Oh, I like that one. Allen Robinson, I love coming out of Penn State. Everyone kept telling me he's not fast enough, and I kept pointing to the film and saying yes, but he catches everything. He's definitely a threat.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. To throw is Bortles. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. Here we go on 4th down with Bortles. And it is incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Prescott to throw it. And this one caught by Dez Bryant.
I know the numbers this season are not Dez Bryant numbers, but something keeps nagging me that he's not on the downside of his career, that he's going to be poised for a big playoff run. There's just something about him and his explosiveness.
You mentioned the numbers, 796, 13 games played, 50 receptions, but you still think there's a lot there in the tank.
I certainly do, and I think it got off to a bad start for him because he was injured early. Then he had to adjust to Dak Prescott as his quarterback. Remember, he knew what Tony Romo would do in every situation. And I think that Ezekiel Elliott, his ascension, really hurt Dez Bryant in terms of numbers because they became much more of a running team. And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position.
throwing. Williams loses the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. The reception good for 7. It's third down. It's a keeper with Prescott. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a hint. And a double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a sim.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Very tough spot here for the offense to start. So after the INT, it's Bortles. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it's good enough for a Jacksonville first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a 1st down.
Bortles now on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And that incompletion also gives me a chance to ask you about defensive MVPs. You know, I thought that it was going to be Von Miller. He had 13.5 sacks a few games ago, but didn't have any the final stretch of the season. But he still has a possibility.
No doubt. We still have to talk about him. He's one of the best defenders in the league. But how about some other names? Vic Beasley from Atlanta led the league in sacks. Khalil Mack, you have to block him with 2 or 3 guys on each and every play. How about Landon Collins and his playmaking for the New York Giants? Helped them get to the playoffs this year. And, of course, Eric Berry from Kansas City. Couple of pick sixes, the pick 2 against Atlanta, an all-around playmaker. And Aaron Donald's team didn't play very well, but he's one of the best ones in the league.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Green 39.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The play fake to Ivory. Now Bortles. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in a game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's 3 levels, defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary. And if the 3rd level is leading your team in tackles, as a general rule, things aren't going so well for your defense.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Julius Thomas, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
Key to tight end, key to tight end. We got 4. We got 4.
Bryant Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Here's Prescott. Dez Bryant, the intended receiver. And it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep, Rashad Green. Taken in at the 22. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
There we go now. Green, 90.
Throwing on 1st down is Bortles. And this is incomplete.
So that pass ball is incomplete. And Brandon, while we got a quick second, let's talk about Coach of the Year, because this is an award. It's hard to define. But I'm telling you, here's 3 spots that I think deserve mention. Atlanta with Dan Quinn, Dallas with Jason Garrett, and Miami with Adam Gase. I thought all 3 were exceptional.
Absolutely, and all the talk in Dallas about the 2 rookies, and rightfully so. But I think Jason Garrett might take this hardware home.
Yeah, I think that he's got a great possibility because his defense really stepped up, and we thought they were going to be miserable. And Dan Quinn, after last year's collapse, that didn't happen this year. They have a bye in the first week of the NFL playoffs. And finally, Adam Gase. He may be young, but boy, did he act mature as a coach. And Miami won 9 of 10 down the stretch.
They'll come out in the pistol. Bortles now on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Now Prescott going right side. He has Witten. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Here we go.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Here's Prescott. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st and 10, Prescott completes it to Jason Witten. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. First down throw for Prescott. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's 2nd down. They come up in an offset eye.
What? 90. Ohio. Alert 3. Ohio.
On second down, Prescott again. Out left side here to Bryant. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
4 down. Check. Let's go. Flex round.
Prescott on 1st down. That's caught at the 3. And he's brought down. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
Tight ends left.
They come out 5 wide, throw them to the right side. To throw is Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. They come out here in the eye. Prescott. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Come on, let's go.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
2nd down, offense behind the sticks here. 2nd and 13. 2nd down, Prescott. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. Yeldon, the lone running back. Throwing his Bortles on third down. He's got the hook up to Lee. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Really nice little connection there. They go with the corner route, and it works out well.
And the best way to set up the corner route is to throw slants throughout the ball game so when you're able to get back outside, the defender has to respect the inside game.
And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the 2 defensive tackles in a 4-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business. It looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. That's caught at the 3. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3.
Ready, 3, 39. Left.
Bortles to throw for it on foot. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Julius Thomas, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Trying to shake off the and the Jags get to him as down he goes. Avery Jones with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Prescott now on 2nd down. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes, back at the 4-yard line. Telvin Smith in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Come on, let's go.
Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. And that is incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And it's 4th down.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups. And they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Fielded at the 33. Whoosh. Back now in Arlington. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Here we go. Green 39.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Here's Ivory. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles. That's caught. It's Thomas. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. So they're able to connect and beat the man coverage.
Nice job between the two of them. One getting downfield, the other one delivering.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out here in the eye. The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Green 90. Go. Here we go.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Bortles now on 3rd and goal. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Julius Thomas, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
Give me the bell. Give me the bell.
And it's 21-3. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Dan.